Do you feel the vibes?
Hi there everybody, Dragon Slayer here, and today we'll be making a really cool game. Well, not a game, but a design creator. So as you see here, it's creating this hypnotizing design right now. And it changes color every now and then, and also our balls are always changing color. But the good thing about this is it's customizable. I can just change this to 7, change this to 1, and then change this to 100, and as you see it starts creating this design here. Let me just clear it so you can see it much more clearly. If you see, it starts overlapping all the lines because it turns 7 degrees every single time, so it always covers a new spot, as you see there. And as you see here, it starts creating this design there outside. This is one of my very favorite patterns, so you guys can really experiment with this. But when you change it to this, it has this effect here, like it's so thick. But one thing you could do is change this to 100, and you have a windmill, but just make this a bit slower, and you can turn this into a flower creator. So the faster it goes, the less clear it is, as you see there. But the slower it gets, the more quick it does. And as you see here, this is super slow, and it's like creating this cool pyramid shape, and then this is a sun getting created. So yeah, you have all these different choices, and you can create this thin, well, very thin, and then make it like that. So it's really of your choice. Now let's continue. Okay, so I've already got this here, so you guys could just copy it here. So I'll just go through what everything you have to do. I have to just create this ball, and we start with one key space pressed. Just clear, delete this clone. We have all these different things we have to put in, but I'll go through it step by step. Or if I'll give you 5 seconds and you could just pause and just see this. But if you want to understand what each thing does, then you could just wait and I'll show you everything in a tutorial. But also you see these 2 pieces of code here. When one key pressed, so if I press the 1, well, it's supposed to be when I press the 1. So I'll just edit myself. So 2, and then make this 7. I found a really good design in number 7. Let's just, as you see here, it's creating that sun design I really like. So we have that. We can make this a bit thicker, and we have a sun. Now, anyways, this is all the code you need, and you're done with the game if you just copied it. But if you're like me and you want to exactly know what happens, then I'll show you with this. So I already have my project ready, but what you should do is just delete the scratch cat and get a ball, this ball right here. After we got the ball, let's just say when green flag clicked, for set size to 30%. Now let's just see. Sorry, I was just thinking quickly. Anyway, so we say when green flag clicked, set size to 30%. So let me change that to 30. And then after that, go to 0x and 0y. So we have to get that from the motion blocks. So 0x and 0y. After that, we'll say forever create a clone of myself. So it will always be creating a clone of itself, and we'll make the clones make the spiral. So create clone of myself, and then turn 10 degrees. You can choose either this one or this one. So if you wanted your spiral to go like that, then choose this one. But if you want your spiral to go like that, then choose this one. So the way the arrow is pointing, that's the way your spiral will go. But you can also make it opposite and that way. Like you can also make it this way and this way with a trick by using slider variables, which I'll go into deeper in a few minutes. Anyways, we have that done, and now we can just continue on and tell what the clone must do. So what I'll say, when I start as clone, forever move 2 steps. Anyways, now that we have that done, if we just click the green flag, it starts creating the spiral. But once it touches the edge, it doesn't just go away, it just starts creating this border, and they all go to the center, which doesn't look nice at all. And after some time, it stops creating it because it reaches the maximum limit of clones it can create in Scratch. So how the way we fix this is saying we'll make this if touching edge. So just get this. If touching edge, then delete this clone. So now, as you see, it starts creating this, but immediately it goes away after it touches the edge. So it will create this spiral forever. Now that we have done this, we'll go on and say to take control of the way it turns and everything. So right now make 2 variables. One is called angle. Well, yeah, angle, and also speed. Okay, now put the angle block here and the speed block here. Now, first thing you're supposed to do here is change this into a slider and also change this into a slider. What this makes is that you can customize everything. So I can do this and I can do that. And it goes on very quickly, but I can just make it go at 9 and it creates this blade sort of way of a design. Now I just want to set the min and max of this. So for this, the minimum is negative 100. So you can do it both this way and also this way. And the minimum of speed must be 2. So it's just very slow. But it's like cool for like some designs, like to see all the different patterns that you can make and you can see them very slowly. So now we can just move on. Now let's use the pen to like draw lines wherever the ball goes. So let's say into the pen blocks, use the clear block first. The reason I'm doing this is if you watched my how to create a snake game on Scratch video, which I'll put in the description, if you ever use the pen and it draws something and every time you play the game again, you want all the pen lines to go, you should always put a clear in the front of a when green flag clicked. Then say set pen size to. So I'll just set this and then get a pen down block. Now let's just create a code here. The code is, well, not code, but another variable. It is called pen size. And just like the other ones, change this to a slider. And then there's really no min and max for this because you can make it super thin or super thick. So you don't set a minimum or maximum for this. So just keep it like that. And make this pen size, so put this into pen size. So set pen size 2, and then pen down. After that, we'll say change pen color by 1. So it starts changing the tone of the color, and then it has that rainbow effect. here. So forever, it will change it by 1. Now that we have that done, we can also make this. So forever in looks, just put also a next costume. And as you see, it starts creating multicolored things. So if we just begin again, as you see, it starts creating all these different lines. And if you see, I can make those much quicker. It creates these lines, and then I can make these thicker. Wait. Oh, you also have to put another block saying when green flag clicked forever. And then in pens, set pen size to, and then put in pen size. Because there's a forever in here and a forever in there, so this should also be in forever. So when I click this, now it's going to create this windmill effect. And as you see, if I make it slower, it's making it a bit thicker. But and now you see it's like having a little color left. And then if I can just reduce this, as you see, well, the speed can be quick, but your pen size should be like that, and then reduce your speed. And you make this flower effect, as you see here. I just want to do something because the speed should be last and pen size should be next. Here. So as you see, now it's just creating this windmill. But if I did a slower speed, it creates more of a flower. And the reason I'm saying windmill, because this is like the windmill, like the wooden windmill that keeps on rotating with the wind. That's what I mean when I mean a windmill. So let's continue. Now we have a changing color and changing ball. Now let's say, well, we're actually completely done now. But here's a few designs that I really love. The first one is this. It's called a Moir pattern. So the way you do this, well, yeah, this is all you have to do. But there's a quick way to like put shortcuts. So pretend you were just going around and I'm just like, I already know this one, but it's a really cool design. So I'll just set this to 11. I'll set it to 11 and then I'll make the pen size 1. And then I'll set the speed to 100. As you see here, it creates a very unique pattern that most like customizations wouldn't make. So as you see here, it starts making these swirls there. So that's what I really like about this pattern. And pretend you just found this pattern and you're like, I need this pattern. I always want to have, I always want it to be available. So all you have to do is and change this to the number 1 key right there. So you have just all these numbers on your keyboards, but you can actually use all the letters too, but I will just keep it with numbers right now because I really just created this game right now and I didn't play with it much, so I don't have many favorites, but I have 2 favorites that I'd like to show you guys. So we have this one right here, and as you see, it already started taking shape, and this is very well, if someone in the here can actually name every single color you see right now, can you name every single color you see here? Just tell me down in the comment section and I'll see how close you are, because I do see some red there and some orange and yellow, but really there's a lot of colors here. So let's see if anyone can find the most colors in there. So anyways, let's go in here. So let's say now we have to just take 3 blocks of the set in the variable, make one angle and make one speed. So let's say set pen size to 1, set angle to -11 or just 7. So -11, 11, or -7 or 7. I like 7 better, but I just chose 11 because it was quicker. And then set speed to 100. The reason I'm setting speed to 100 instead of 2 is because if I just play this right now, if you see right here, it's doing everything, but pretend I change this to 2. As you see, it takes a very long time to start doing it. Like in the middle, it's already dense, but as you see, it gets much, it takes so much time. This is like a fast forward, and as you see, just continues making your lines. So if you'd like that ball spiral or like that spiral design here, then put it on 2 or very low numbers. But if you just wanted the line design, just put it on a high number like 100. But sometimes, like if I did this and then change this to something like, yeah, like negative 100. Right now, if I put it on speed 100, it just makes like plus signs. But if I slow it down a bit, it creates many more signs, and then it looks like more of a flower than just a little plus sign or windmill. So you must be careful when you like fast forward or something. Always remember that try using low numbers, medium numbers, and also high numbers to see which designs you like. And then you find one design, and then if I wanted to just use number 1, as you see, I just press number 1 there, and it starts creating the design for me. So we have that done, and now this is one of my favorite patterns. Another one of my favorite patterns is you can just duplicate this and make this key number 2. Where is it? Yeah, number 2, and then change these. The next one, all you have to do is this design has the pen size of 100, the angle of 10, and the speed of 2. This is a hypnotizing pattern, like as if you're going inside this. So let's just show you. If I press number 2, as you see, it starts making it, but after these reach the edge, it's like you keep on going inside. And if you think this is a bit slow, you could just change the speed a bit. But as you see here, it just spoils it. So just remember that like the slower it is, the more colors you see at a time. Like as you see here, it's completely green, but now all the different colors are going in. So yeah, just be wary of what speeds you put it at. And there's another one I'd like to show you. It's a pretty cool pattern, but some of you may not like it. It's just a basic pattern that you guys could just find while testing. So just make the pen size to 10 and the angle to 10 and the speed to 2. So you have everything set there. So it's technically this hypnotizing pattern as you see here, but the main difference is that when I press number 3, well, just wait, it's pretty laggy right now. Yeah, so right now I just set it to number 3, as you see here, and it's creating this sun-like pattern here. So this is your sun, and then these are your sun rays. So I really like this one, but as you see, you can also just quick forward it, and you really just have a quick change in color sun. And if you make this a bit bigger, you can make the sun rays a bit thicker, and then if you make it a bit too thick, you can't see any of the colors. So yeah, you can really mess around with this and find a few cool different designs. And then as I showed you, you can just create hotkeys for it. Like you can use the Q key for a very cool design, and then like you could even name it with the letters. So like pretend you said C means like a very cool design, like it stops the color changing a color that's very bluish and cool colors, and then you can just say this is a good design with the letter G. So you can really customize your hotkeys, but these are my favorite ones up till now. But you guys could really find this very useful. But there's one thing I'm gonna say that you guys could do. If you see here, I say turn angle degrees. One thing you could do is instead of saying turn angle degrees, I'll just stop this. So instead of saying turn angle degrees, you can say point in direction and point towards mouse pointer. What this does is like you can draw your own things. Let's just put it like, if I make this much more slower, make this 0 and make this 13. Wait, didn't I put one space key pressed? Oh, I almost forgot. If you put the one space key pressed, you just say to delete this clone, so it will delete all clones, and also say to append clear. So right now, as you see, it's very, so now I can just press this and it clears. So what you can do now is like draw with your mouse pointer. Like I can say to make it go in a straight line, and then you can just go like that, and it creates squiggly lines. So that is an option, but I really don't like it as much as the angle version. Like pretend you wanted a bit more creativity into your art with lines here. Then all you had to do is use the mouse pointer version. But I like the angle degrees because you get more symmetry in them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and till next time.